Absolute scenes. I can't lie. It wasn't the most amazing game of football from a technical standpoint, yeah, but United showed a lot of character to get back in the game, bro, because I thought we were dead. I thought we were done and dusted at 2-0, bro. You get me? And I can't lie, all my pagans showed up today. Obviously, apart from Fernandes, bro. 17 with the brace. And bro, man like Rashers, bro. Man like the Bacon King, bro. HOJLUND finally breaks his duck in the Premier League, bro. His first goal in 15 games, and you can see what it meant to him, bruv. Tears in his eyes and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this might be the start of him actually contributing to the football team. It probably won't be in it, but we can all dream. But I'm happy for the youth still. I'm kind of happy for him still. I saw the tears in his eyes. You get me? But when man started beating his chest and all that, it was a bit mad still. I can't lie. Man, them have to read the room and that. 1 goal in 15. Like, man needs to be apologising to all the people that pay their money to watch him every week because he's been awful. But I'm happy he scored though. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy he scored though, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Merry Christmas. Merry Rasmus and that. You know what I'm saying? Rasmus, bro. Merry Rasmus, people. That's what it is. The Christmas miracle that everyone always talks about. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I guess that's what a Christmas miracle looks like, bro. 2-0 down. And to be fair, I'd say Villa were the better side, but we weren't getting popped. Like, we weren't really getting popped. Villa were just a little bit better than us. Possession was very similar. United always looked like they could threaten on the break. Obviously, when you got a clowning goal, yeah, it doesn't make your life easier. First goal, ball gets whipped in, and Gerald from Hey Arnold just, I don't know, bro, just completely lost concentration. Ball goes straight in. So obviously, when you've got a goalkeeper that's playing against you every week, yeah, it kind of unnerves the defence a little bit. So it was one of them games where Villa didn't have to play exceptionally well to be ahead, but they always look vulnerable. And I can't see it with Aston Villa. Like I said it, I haven't watched Aston Villa this season. Apparently, they've got a really good home record. They're one of the highest goal scorers in the league, I believe. I think they're in like the top 3 goal scorers in the league, and I can't see how. I can't see how, because they don't really have any good creative players, and they just don't look very good. I can't lie. When I look at Aston Villa, I can't see anything that they do well. I wouldn't say that they defend well. Like, we were getting in behind Aston Villa pretty comfortably with just very straight balls over the top. 17 had a goal that got disallowed also, where we opened them up. And there was a few times where we're able to isolate the defenders in 1v1 situations from a straight ball over the top. Bruno played a straight ball into Rashford, and their goalkeeper cleaned him out. But the straight ball over the top seems to kill them. They don't look like a very difficult team to play against. Yeah, like it was a strange game. I can't believe these guys could have been top of the league at Christmas, because honestly, they look pretty rubbish. I don't know if that's maybe that's just a damning indictment to the level of the Premier League, I'll be honest. Like, it's definitely one of the most competitive leagues in the world, but from a technical standpoint, Aston Villa don't look very good. They don't look very good. And all the shouts for Unai Emery to Man United and that, please stop. He's an underdog manager. That's what he is, bro. Like, I can't see no identity to this Aston Villa team, bro. You know what I mean? They're not good in possession. Like, they weren't really pressing us well, but then they weren't sitting back either. Like, it was a shambles. I'll be honest, like, they let us off today. Because as much as I want to look at the United game and say, oh, we played really well and that, we didn't really. Like, when I look at our midfield, Eriksen didn't really have a great game. Bruno didn't do anything really. And Kobe Mino done little things here and there, but he didn't have a great game. And this was honestly, we won 3-2 today. Like, 17 got a couple goals. But man's not looking at it saying, oh, he absolutely terrorised their defence and he had a great performance. It was you get me? Rashford, it was another performance. Rasmus, it was another performance. Like, we're looking at a performance where we've won the game, and I'm not looking at no players and saying, yo, like we cooked them. We didn't cook them. Like, it just looked like 2 rubbish teams. I'll be honest. 2 rubbish teams, bro. But we got the W. And that's really what matters. Even when you look at the goals that we conceded, defensively, weren't great goals. First one, we could say, you know what, maybe we should defend the first set piece better. The goalkeeper makes a mistake. Second one, free header into the box. My man flicks it in. Everyone standing on the line. Like, all the goals looked like terrible defending and a bit of fortune. Like, there wasn't any real quality in that football match. And then there was 9 minutes of added time come out of nowhere, nothing happened. So we saw over 100 minutes of very mediocre football. And that's the advertisement for the Premier League right now. I'll be real. So United manager's thanking his lucky stars because that was the end of his career if he didn't win today. So I think this is a massive result for the manager because this might, providing he doesn't get snuffed by Nottingham Forest, this might have just saved him his job at least until the summer now. Might have. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Very strange game of football, guys. I'll be honest. Very, very strange game of football, man. But even Patrice Evra was saying at 2-0 that Man United were going to win the game. And I couldn't see it. I'll be real. Like, I think someone said the Everton game. But other than that, I can't remember too many times we scored 3 goals in one game in the Premier League. So I did not see us scoring 3 goals. I'll be real. But I expected Aston Villa to be a lot better than they actually are, man. Which makes me wonder how the hell they got in a position where people were saying that they could do a Leicester. These guys are rubbish. They're rubbish. So I don't really want to hear any more of the Unai Emery shouts or the whatever, bruv. Them man play trash football. Someone's saying they just won 8 bills on Man United winning a game. And the fact that you've won 8 bills on Man United winning a game at home, yeah, that tells you how rubbish we are. So it's one of them ones where it's a big result. I'll be real, it's a massive result. I don't think it says much about us as a football team because the football wasn't great, but it was better than what we're used to seeing. Better than we were used to seeing in recent weeks. And not because we are that good, but because Villa just kind of, at 2-0, they just kind of stopped playing. I don't really know. Like, at the start of the game, I looked at the front three. I saw Rashford on the left, 17 on the right, which didn't make sense to me because he's never played there, like, for any sustained amount of time. Eriksen into the midfield, who didn't really contribute to the game, really, if we're being honest, instead of Scott. So, them changes didn't really make sense. And then we end up taking off Eriksen anyway after him not doing anything and putting on McTominay. So it was kind of like, why did we play him in the first place? So yeah, it was just a proper strange game, guys. I'll be honest. But when you look at the results around the Premier League today as well, I think Luton have won again. Newcastle got absolutely smoked as well. There's been some crazy performances, bro. There's been some crazy results, should I say, and this is actually, believe it or not, this is actually a bloody shock result. Man United actually winning at home. Nottingham Forest absolutely smoked Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Bournemouth beat Fulham 3-0 and Luton won away from home. So it's kind of like, bro, like the fact that Man United winning at home is a shock result tells you everything you need to know about the state of this team right now. So yeah, bro, like it's just one of them ones. We just have to take the 3 points and leg it, bruv. You know, like that. It was one of them ones where there's not really, in terms of the actual performance, I can't take too much away from it because I don't really know what we done well today. I wouldn't say that we are great in possession. I wouldn't really say we are great on the break either. I just think Aston Villa were really poor. And it's good for us, mate, to be honest. And I said, do I think Ten Hag will get sacked soon? I think it depends, bro. It depends. If the new owners want to come in and make a statement, they should sack him anyway, I'll be honest. Like, when you look at his record, he's done enough to be sacked. Like, one game should never be enough. I always say it. One game should never be enough for a manager to save his job. Never. Because that means you're ignoring all the stuff that he's done before. And you shouldn't do that. Now, if this was a criminal case, yeah, we've compiled enough evidence, yeah, for the removal of this manager. Even without today's game. Because last match doesn't just, all of a sudden, it didn't happen. We're out the Champions League. Like, that shouldn't be taken out of context. Like, we had a -7 goal difference at one point in this game. So, all of these things, yeah, should not be forgotten just because we won a football match. One football match doesn't change nothing. Just like 17 scoring a brace today doesn't make him a good footballer. He's still shocking. But he scored 2 goals today. Same with Rasmus as well. He's still shocking, but he ended up scoring the winning goal today, and that's amazing. It would have been great if he took his chance at Anfield when he had the 1v1 and he scored that and we won 1-0. I'd rather he scored then. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's one of them ones where all the crying and the beating of the chest and doing all of that, yeah, it doesn't change the fact that you scored 1 goal in 15. So when we start making long-term decisions based on isolated moments, yeah, this is when you start making big mistakes. So his job should still be on the line regardless. This performance shouldn't really change anything. Should I say this result? Because it wasn't much of a performance. We had spells where we took our chances, but performance weren't all that, bro. The United still didn't play good football. Honourable shout out to Johnny Evans though, because Johnny Evans kept us. He kept us in the game, bro, with that block on the line. If Johnny Evans doesn't block that, we probably end up losing the game. You know, that was a big momentum shifter in the game. That was a big momentum shifter, and a lot of people have been giving Johnny Evans stick. Like people saying he's a scrub and all that, but bro, Johnny Evans, since he's come to the club, he hasn't done much wrong for us. Like, so it's one of them things where I think he's been solid. Obviously, you don't want to be having Johnny Evans playing week in, week out, but every time he's come in, he's been steady, and that's all you can ask. So, honourable mention to him today, because if he doesn't make that block in front of Onana, you know we can't rely on Onana to make those kind of saves. And if that goes in, I think the game's gone. The players probably drop their heads. So, shout out Johnny Evans, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And we got away with it today. It just is what it is. Like, not too many times this season we're going to come from 2 goals down and actually win the game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the last time it happens, innit? So, yeah, man. They got it done, man. Shout them out, but it doesn't change anything for me, bro. Still get this manager out. Like, the decision making between 17, Rasmus, Rashford and Anthony is non-existent. Like, these are 4 very low IQ footballers, bro. And the way to improve that is by buying better players. Unfortunately, there are things that you can do structurally to improve it, of course, but ultimately, decision making comes down to football IQ and football understanding from players. And we have 4 players that have no IQ, bro. They're just not very good. And that's just how it is. So there's only so much of that is on the manager. Not all of it, but at the end of the day, he brought them in. Like, HOJLUND and Anthony were his signings, and both of them are not good. But then there was a goal today that 17 scored at the back post, Rashford played it with his right foot, played it forward, he's offside. But if Rashford takes another touch and plays it with his left foot across, he's not offside. So, again, pass selection is part of football IQ. Rashford picked the wrong pass. Obviously, my man should have held his run, but still, Rashford needs to know that you have to pass that across with your left foot. And that's how we ended up assisting one of the goals later on. It was almost a carbon copy, but wrong pass. What did we do well, What did we do this game that we can genuinely take into another game? Like, I'm willing to bet money that he doesn't pick this exact starting 11 for the next match. Because he doesn't know what we done. He doesn't know what we done today, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It's pick the players and hope for the best. Like, he started Nacho on the right today. He scored a brace today. Not because he was on the right, but because he just ended up scoring a brace. So what, does that mean he's our new right winger for the next 3 games? Because that's what he done with McTominay. McTominay scored a brace against Brentford, and then all of a sudden McTominay played the next 3 or 4 games. So does that mean Anthony's dropped now? Or is Nacho going to be back on the left wing next game? And this is what I mean. Like, none of these things are transferable, bro. Like, he's literally just relying on different players to do things to keep him in a job. Like, he hasn't settled on anything. What, does Eriksen start next game? Probably not. One victory against Aston Villa, and all of a sudden people will be trying to use this result as a I told you so moment. This is not how football works. One result does not get rid of all the obvious facts, bro. It doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't change the goal difference. It doesn't change the fact that we're out of the League Cup. We're out the Champions League. We finished bottom of our group. It doesn't change the fact that this manager's falling out with players left, right and centre. Like, bro, there's so many things that have gone wrong. And we'll win one game and people will be saying, I told you so, I told you so. It's like, have some shame. I know a lot of people don't have shame these days. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of shameless individuals running around. However, have some shame. Have some. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing, because I could compile you, I could compile you of a list of things that this manager and this team have done poorly. And then when you compare it with the positives, it's not even a conversation that needs to be had. So all today did, just like the Brentford game as well, which I believe the Brentford game we came from behind also. was just paper over the cracks. This was a very meaty Aston Villa team in terms of the performance. Obviously, they've had a decent season, but in terms of how they played today, they were horrible. They were horrible today, and they blew a 2-goal lead. And I would very much say that the result was more on them than on us. Because if they played half decent with a 2-goal cushion, they should be beating us. They should be beating us because we don't do anything special. We don't do nothing special to score goals. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're playing some beautiful football and opening you up. Like, it's very, very mediocre stuff. Man said Villa high line at 2-0 was wild. It was very wild. It was very wild. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's kind of like, if that's the way that Emery wants to play, then they're gonna die by that. Do you know what I'm saying? You live by it, you die by it. I don't have a problem with teams playing high lines, but the thing is, if you're gonna play a high line, yeah, the whole point of playing a high line is to condense the space that you actually play football in. But cool, but if you're gonna play a high line, then you have to press. You have to press because you can't be letting teams play their way out and find the space that's in behind you. But the thing was, Villa were playing a high line, but then they stopped pressing at 2-0. You can't stop pressing. And if you're going to stop pressing, then you have to drop all the way back. And they didn't do that. So it was very strange. I'll be honest. It was a very strange game of football. Like, it's not even about the high line. It was the lack of physicality and the lack of pressing and just allowing us to find that space in behind them repeatedly. Like, we got caught offside, I think, 8 times or something. It could have even been in one half, bro. Like, they were just allowing us to find that ball in behind. They were allowing us to do it. Like, they were poor today. They were poor today, and it made us look better. That's all it was. Because when Luton were pressing us, yeah, we couldn't do anything about it. We couldn't do nothing about it. But Aston Villa were bad today. So we can absolutely look at it. It's a great result. Don't get me wrong, but there's not a lot of positives to take from today. Like, Villa threw this away. As much as we could turn around and say how good we were and all that, nah, we weren't. We weren't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think when man's remembering the goals, like, even, bro, it's just like, what? 17-second goal, their defender goes to block the ball, it falls to him, and then the shot gets a massive deflection on it, the goalkeeper's saving it, and then Rasmus's goal, yeah, the ball drops to him in a crowded box, and it just lands to him, bro. It's very fortunate, and he takes it well, but we just got lucky. That's all that happened. It was just a very fortunate game today for us, and there's no real highlights of the game. We weren't great. So I say this many times when we win, guys. Like, it's all good winning a game, but you need to look at how you win the game, and this is exactly how you say, yo, can we take some positives from this and bring this to another game? Or was it one of those just one-off freak results? It's just like Fulham lost 3-0 today. And it's one of them ones where they'll just be looking at it as a bad day at the office. And Aston Villa need to be looking at this as a bad day at the office. I don't think we done anything particularly well.